Welcome back to the Muni Lot Pod, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Benjamin David Alkire. Thank you so much for your continued viewership. As always, if you could like and subscribe, help us grow the channel out, help us gain some more viewership, and let's get the word out about the Muni Lot Pod, folks. I have a great group of hosts with me here again today. I got Jim Danke back in the building.
1-0.
1-0.
The Browns, that are.
The Brownies. The Brownies are 1-0. Brownies are 1-0, coming off a big win. We got joining us from Cleveland, Ohio, in a beautiful Browns basement, Aaron Hoffman back on the pod. Aaron, how are we doing this evening?
Chubb, we trust, baby. Let's go.
Hell yeah. In Chubb, we trust. I almost got that 20 carry mark that Jake Vellucci, Coach Vellucci down there at Catawba College. Bull, how's practice been this week?
Right, Saturday, and we're on to Mars Hill. We're on to Hoopyville week for the Brownies, so here we go.
Yeah, Hoopyville week. All right. And we'll close it out here. Fan favorite Darian Terrell joining the pod again this week. D, that's an interesting background we got there.
Yeah, we know what week it is. We just never forget. You can't say racist things and go unpunished.
That's 9/11. Never forget, same week. And the pod, is that on purpose?
Oh, that's tough.
All right. Well, move right along, boys. Jim mentioned we're starting the year off hot. We're 1-0.
Riding high.
Going for 2-0 for the first time. There's a stat flying around. I don't know if anyone could correct me, but there's a stat flying around. Browns could go 2-0 for the first time since a Belichick coach season, like 1993. I believe it was the 93. Thank you, Skip, for confirming there. I saw a head shake from Bull there. 2-0 we're embarking on for the first time since 93. Coach Bill Belichick. Let's cover the week one win, though, first, guys. I want to start out Deshaun Watson, passing yards, about 150 yards passing. Looked a little slow out of the gates. Coach Bull, the weather seemed to impact the game a little bit. Is the rain a big factor here? There, we saw a tipped ball for an interception. What do we think was the catalyst to the slow start?
Yeah, I mean, getting to watch it again, I think, first half needed to hit some check downs early. I thought he was just trying to do too much in the first half. Like the end of the 2 minute at the end of the first half was a great drive. Just took what they gave him, used his legs. Again, I think other than being a little more elusive and mobile in the pocket and preferring massage parlors to the Cheesecake Factory, he looked like Baker Mayfield. So we're going to need that to step up a little bit. The pick was bad. I mean, it was tipped, but if you're watching it back, I mean, it was going to be a pick no matter what. So I think,
how can you compare it to Baker Mayfield, though? Come on.
Just remember, Baker played better week one. So if that continues, I don't think the season's going to go well for us. So
again, just over there salivating because Baker won a fucking game.
Literally, not salivating. He just needs to play
punching the bottom of his table, looking at the highlight of Baker stiff arming a fucking 130-pound DB, telling him to get his weight up. Bull's literally just punching the table.
Listen, I watched the game back again today. A lot of throws from Deshaun that look like Baker Mayfield. Just give what they take you, use your legs, and keep turning around and hand it off to Nick Chubb.
Hey, speaking of him using his legs, his rushing prop over did hit.
What was it?
I was on that. It was at 23.
Oh, yeah, easy money.
Second rush of the day it hit. I was pumped.
Well, we can keep talking about the rushing game, though, folks. Bull, as I mentioned in the intro here, 18 carries for Nick Chubb, 106 total yards. Had some action from Jerome Ford as well.
A quiet day for Chubb.
Yeah, it was quiet. It felt
a quiet 106.
It felt good, though.
I mean, I had him multiple times. I was texting and asking, is Chubb hurt? Because they didn't see him. I was like, he's got 96 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Like, he's in there. But it was quiet. I think that's a good way to explain it. But consistent, because he was pounding the rock.
I feel like that's pretty on par for Nick Chubb, though. He goes out there, does his business, takes care of business, and then just gets right back on the sideline, lets the defense do his thing. I think we're going to see a lot from him this year in regard to that kind of demeanor, right? He's not a talk shit kind of guy. He just kind of goes out there, takes care of things, and gets back off the field.
Yeah, I think everybody was thinking that you don't have Kareem Hunt, right? You think that he's going to split the carries because your secondary back is Kareem Hunt. So I was expecting a lot more Chubb going to be in the game, but I mean, Ford got a lot more carries and touches than I anticipated. So I think that's just going to be the offense, which I'm okay with. But that caught me by surprise.
Hey, Aaron, you seem pretty amped up about Nick Chubb getting the ball there early and often. How do we feel about his performance?
I think he was good. I mean, it's what I expected, right? He's going to be. I feel like the offense has to flow through him to set up the passing game. I mean, Jim, you were at the game though. I mean, you were there. Like, I mean, I live in Cleveland. Like the rain, man, it had to do something to his passing. It had to.
Oh, 100%. It was such an annoying rain. It wasn't like, like a steady rain, but it was just enough where like if you were out in it, you were getting soaked. And also, like, I can't imagine what the field conditions were like. So, like, let alone throwing a football. But I know Jake will say we pay him $20 or $200 million to throw a wet football. But, I mean, look at what Joe Burrow. I mean, we're crowning this guy the next GOAT here. And the guy had, I don't know, maybe under 80 yards passing. So, like, it definitely affected the passing game.
I got a question for you guys though. So, like one of the first drives when Ford got in, he fumbled, right? And I have never seen a running back carry the ball in the middle of like going up the middle, like out like this with one arm, where it's like you just get it punched out. Like, can you guys talk about like from like a running back, like why would he run like that? That's all I want. Like, I've never seen Nick Chubb ever do something like that.
My only guess is he thought he had more room than he actually did. I mean, typically when you're going through the line, you're double skinning it, but I don't know.
That was the one thing that just kind of like I just didn't understand why Ford would ever run like that.
You got any tips and tricks for the boys out there running the ball, Coach Felucci?
I mean, I think the last person I feel like that carried the ball like that was really like Tiki Barber that held it like that. 5 points of pressure, Brock Williams, baby. But I think I think the big thing just Jerome Ford had him 15 carries. I think it was good. I wouldn't mind if that minused by 6 or 7 and those went to Nick Chubb again week 1. I think as the year progresses, I think Nick Chubb's averaging 5.9 a carry or did on Sunday, and Jerome Ford averaged 2.4 and he fumbled. So I don't think Jerome Ford's a bad backup back by any means, but I'd like to see Chubb get over the 20 carry mark and maybe, some of those go towards him rather than Jerome Ford getting it 15 times.
Yeah, and we got to keep that line healthy. And unfortunately, we lost a big cog in that machine there for the season. I believe ACL and MCL tear. Your boy DeJuan Jones had to step up early and often, Coach Bull, but we did allow 3 sacks. How are we going to get some success? Get those sack numbers down? How we keep that line healthy? I saw we signed a couple guys to get that depth back up, at least help it out a little bit. What do we think moving forward?
Yeah, I think just building continuity with that new group, and Deshaun. I think he's elusive, so he's going to hang on to the ball. I think he feels like he can make plays back there, which he can with his legs and extend plays, which I think is good. So we'll see. It's going to be a good test for DeJuan Jones on Monday night. Obviously, T.J. Watt's probably going to be the one that they're lining up early and often on him. So we'll see.
Yeah, we're getting some reaction here from Darian Terrell D. What is your prospect on good old Ohio State Buckeye DeJuan Jones?
I think he's going to have to go into the film room and look at what happened, week 1 against the Steelers when they played the Niners, and see what Trent Williams did to T.J. Watt and what he did in the run game, because he is the best left tackle in the league, best athlete out there. So if you want to compare him, Bull, to Trent Williams, which is the most asinine thing I've ever heard in my fucking life, the most ignorant thing that you've ever said, well, I guess this is your week to find out if he's as athletic as Trent Williams. But as a whole, I think he's a good player. I think we're going to be all right with him. It's a shame that Conklin got hurt, but it's also a shame that he's been hurt the last 2 years and we just paid him an extension. They just got a nice little fat bonus there. So I don't see him coming back from this. It's 3 years with like some very severe injuries. So I think that what we have is what we're going to have for the future. So I hope he plays some fucking ball. He's a good player. But like I said, you're going to have to look and see how he compares to Trent Williams in the film room.
But hey, I mean, that's hats off to the front office for, drafting an offensive lineman. I mean, like when we initially picked him up, I know I had the reaction like, why are we drafting O-line? But they're talking about how injured Conklin's been. This is why we did it. So, and I know what we went out and picked up a guy. I don't know his name, want to say he was from the Vikings or something like that.
Yeah, I can't pronounce the last name as well. I don't know if anyone wants to Google it real quick.
I thought I saw that DeJuan Jones was the biggest player in the NFL, and this guy who we just signed was the second largest player in the NFL.
Hey, we're trying to muscle that. We're trying to muscle those boys around. What boys? Let's get on to the defense here. The Jim Schwartz defense, first showing week 1. You guys mentioned it a little bit. 82 passing yards allowed, 75 rush yards. 2.6 yards per play. The Cincinnati Bengals 2 for 15 on third down.
Huge.
2 sacks. Bull, I think week 1 you said we need 3 to 5. 2 sacks week 1. 4 TFLs. Tackling leader again, Grant Delpit with 8. But it seemed like we were successful. How do we feel about defense week 1?
How many QB pressures did we have? Do you guys know that by chance? Because even though like we didn't get a lot of sacks, like I feel like we still were like getting to the quarterback quite often.
I'm looking that up, Pop.
Overall, I mean, electric, watching it back. I mean, a lot of fun to watch. Just played a lot of different coverages. I mean, played, obviously mainly 1 and 0, but played some 2, played some fire zone stuff. But I was more intrigued with, everybody saw the clip of like Myles Garrett doing, the crossover, hezzy thing, and then, being lined up on the center. He did a really good job just like putting Myles and Zadarius Smith on the same side to get one-on-one matchups for those guys or one-on-one matchups for other people. And again, on the back end, I think it's, helpful. You get to put Newsome in the slot and Denzel and Martin Emerson, out on an island. Did a really good job. We didn't really play Juan Thornhill. I don't think he played at all. I mean, they had, some rookie safeties and Ronnie Harrison playing. And, they just played really well. I think they were aggressive downhill. It's, amazing. I think Walker and Joke and those guys looked a lot better just because they had guys in front of them, the defensive line that are competent, obviously besides Miles last year, there just wasn't a ton up front. So I think that, played aggressive, played downhill. It was a lot of fun to watch, just a lot of different schemes going on.
Yeah, I saw a couple of highlights from Joke, too, floating around Twitter. He looked pretty good.
I think, like we had talked about last week, was it's going to be interesting to see how that front seven does, because it's the first time that you have multiple playmakers in the box. And I think this last game showed what happens if those guys play up to their caliber. Like, you're going to see a bunch of different pressures and blitzes and stunts, and they're going to get creative to get ways, like he had just said, to get Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett on the same side. What the fuck are you going to do to stop that? So seriously, you can try anything, but if you get more guys that are able to rush the passer and pressure the quarterback with 4, you don't have to do anything crazy. We could drop back. We're going to be all right. Those dudes were flying around. That was fun to watch.
Defense was flying around. I thought the secondary played out of their minds. I mean, honestly, like Grant Delpit, leading tackler. I don't even know how many catches. Like, I think Jamar Chase had 2 catches, if that. So I thought the secondary played very, very well.
Yeah, how do we feel about Jamar Chase getting those Elves comments just thrown right in his face? How do we feel about that, Skip? I see you got a quick reaction there.
There you go, Jamar. No, I mean, the guy's obviously a world-class athlete, but I mean, Cleveland's Cleveland, right? Like, Juju did it to us during the wild card game, correct? Right? That's when he started talking shit about Cleveland. Like, just keep giving us bulletin board material, right? Just keep doing it.
Yeah. Take notes off of every team that plays against Colorado.
Yeah, that Colorado State coach is a moron. Absolute moron. Boys, that's week 1. I want to ask something real quick, a little round table. After watching week 1, we all gave our season predictions. A couple of us threw out 11-6, some 10-7s. Skip said AFC champs, I believe. Are we feeling better? I mean, we can't be feeling worse, obviously. Are we feeling like we're going to do better than 11-6, 10-7? How you feeling after week 1?
I'm feeling pretty good, honestly. I mean, I don't think my prediction, I think I said 10-7. I'm not going to move from that just yet. But yeah, obviously I was more impressed, more pleased than what I was going into the game feeling with.
Yeah, you were in attendance too. What's your record in attendance at Browns game? You said 3-0 or 2-0?
I'm now, I want to say man, yeah, you can't put me on the spot like that.
Not a lot going on up there. So
yeah.
I like tapping.
All right. Well, what about the rest of the boys? D, Bowl, Skip. What do you guys got? Are we sticking to our predictions, or we think we saw a little bit more than we anticipated?
No, and with how highly we talked, and me specifically, of the expectations for the season, they played at or a little below what I expected them to play. So that we're going to stay the same. I think that this week is going to be a big task, even with the. Do we have an echo?
Yeah, Bull, can you turn your volume down a little bit?
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. Even with the Bengals playing poorly and the Steelers losing their game in a very horrible fashion, I think it's all eliminated after week one. So week two is going to be a completely different monster than week one. So they still got some things to prove.
What do we think, Skip?
I mean, I'm definitely optimistic, right? I'm just gonna go, with Bull here though. Like I gotta have more out of the quarterback, right? You can't pay a guy $250 million to go, one TD, one pick. I mean, like we said, the weather was shitty. Like Joe Burrow wasn't the best quarterback either, but like, I expect more out of Deshaun moving forward, right? He's gotta be, he's gotta be really, really, really good almost every single game. So
I got a question here because we paid Deshaun Watson a fat sum, correct? Joe Burrow just gets paid a shit ton of money. Highest paid quarterback now. Am I correct in saying so? I haven't heard anybody bitching at Joe Burrow for the loss or anything like that. Hey, tough game. What's up with week two? But then you come in and you get Bull fucking being a little crybaby about Deshaun Watson getting a W, saying in the middle of the game, he fucking sucks. We suck. Oh, but then we start winning the game. Oh, and then we win. Great game, Browns. You want to live in it and bask in it. Pick a fucking side. If you think he's going to be a good quarterback, then you better stop rooting against him and hope for it, right? But then you got Cincinnati. Like I said, nobody's shitting on Joe Burrow. Not one person. So why the fuck are we? Bull.
Because Joe Burrow has been to a Super Bowl and led them to a Super Bowl. Again,
And
I just
lost.
want Deshaun to meet the expectations. Like Hop saying, we paid you all the money. Meet the expectations. That's all it is.
I just don't want your Ohio State fandom bullshit that you pull every Saturday.
It's not Ohio State fandom. It's just being
No.
realistic.
Let me
it's
finish.
being
I don't want
realistic. You need to be
your
better than
style.
Baker Mayfield, and you weren't.
Here we go.
You weren't
we
better
got
than
to talk
Baker.
about
That's the
fucking
expectation.
Baker. You're
That's
comparing
the expectation.
Bull. You're comparing him to Baker Mayfield still. I'm talking about is Deshaun Watson, the Cleveland Browns quarterback. Fuck Baker. He's been on 3 teams since he left here, and you still got his dick in your mouth. All right? We're done with that. Sorry if I'm getting too much, but Ben, you can edit that out.
Nope. Keep it going.
My whole point in this is saying stop dick riding this guy and bitching at Deshaun Watson. He's the quarterback that we have, right? So why root against him? Want him to be successful.
I'm not rooting against him. My expectations are up here, and he's performing down here.
For week one.
Here.
But then you got Joe Burrow, and nobody's bitching at him.
He just got paid. Deshaun got paid last year, man. It's like Burrow didn't have it all. He didn't have a preseason. It's a little bit different. I think Joe Burrow, people should be talking shit about him too. But man, like I still see it being a little bit different. A little bit. Tad bit.
All I'm going to say is I just don't want your Ohio State style of fandom to trickle over to Sundays. Keep that soft, just
expectations being high, expecting greatness. That's too much for you.
I mean,
it's not too much for me.
Who even watches college football?
In the first quarter, and we fucking suck. We suck. We were terrible. I can't watch this. And then the halftime, and then the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter, and then after the game,
text the second half because nope.
Then after the game,
put words in my mouth. I was at practice.
You're talking about we and us, like you're one of them. But then it's go Buckeyes after the win. Just buy in and appreciate what we have here. Root for the man. That's it.
I am rooting for the man. He's got to be better. If we're going to win championships, he's got to be 151 yards and 1 TD ain't winning a shit.
I don't disagree with
the defense played really well. They held them to 3 points. That's not going to happen every game. If we're going to go beat the Chiefs or the Bills or somebody in the AFC Championship game, it's going to take more than 151 yards and a touchdown. That's all I'm saying.
He's got to score more points.
Yeah, he also got 3 months.
Also, something we can all agree on. Shout out Dustin Hopkins. Fuck Cade York. 3 for 3 on field goals.
I was ripping shots after you said those field goals, man. That was
great.
I did
forget to bring up the kicking game. 3 for 3, long of 43 yards. And our punter, Corey B., He was out there bombing the ball. 66-yard long punt, 3 of 7 inside the 20. What's our special teams coach? Bubba.
That's huge. I didn't know
He's got some boys out there. He's got some boys out there ready to play. What guys, that got hot. That got hot. That got a little contentious. I liked it. I like the energy. We do need to move on to week 2 here. Let's get our focus onto the Pittsburgh Steelers. Big week 2. We're trying to go 2-0, as we said, for the first time since the '93 season. We're 1-23 at Pittsburgh since the year 2000, boys. 1-23 since the year 2000. Pittsburgh Steelers just got informed by Jim Danke, Tony Grossi, 20-0 on Monday Night Football in their last 20. I imagine is what that stat is. Pittsburgh coming off a blowout loss, 30-7 to the 49ers. D, what do you got? I like that background. How we feel about that background? Let's talk about that. How we feel about the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Fuck them. Fuck them. The Yinzers, their fans, because they're all the same too, Bull. They're over there. Tomlin's a bad coach. Tomlin lost control of the locker room. Fuck that. I hope that they get their ass beat. But again, it's a Steelers-Browns game. You never know what could happen. You never know. So don't get too high. Don't get too low. Bull, don't get too low. We're gonna be all right.
Yeah, I mean, so the Steelers, though, they're battling some injuries, right? They're kind of limping into this game. Deontay Johnson just announced out for the next 4 weeks with a hamstring. Cameron Hayward out 8 weeks, going through some groin surgery. A lot of talk about T.J. Watt going up against Dewan, as we talked about a little bit previously. Coach Vellucci, what do we got? We got some keys to the game here. How do the Browns come out victorious week 2?
Sticking to the game plan, I think week 1, I think the play calling was good. I think 40 carries to 29 passes is a recipe for success. Running the football first and foremost, and defense will travel. So I think that's a big key. I think again, to me, we were talking about expectations. I think we'll know this Browns team's a little bit different than other ones if we go in there and handle business. You got all these stats about Pittsburgh's 20-0 on Monday night at home. We haven't won theirs, since Nam basically. So it's go in and take care of business. And I think that'll be a step in the right direction in terms of, what our expectations are and, having a good season.
Skip, you have some Steeler fandom that you married into a little bit here. You spent some time in Pittsburgh. Your wedding was in Pittsburgh. How are you feeling going into week 2?
I hate Pittsburgh, man. I absolutely hate it. I hate the city. The suburbs are nice, don't get me wrong, like the outskirts, right? But, I mean, what grinds my gears the most about Pittsburgh Steelers fans is they don't appreciate what they have. They didn't appreciate Big Ben. They don't appreciate – they don't like Tomlin, which is bizarre to me. Being a Browns fan, right? Like, we've grown up on watching amateur, piss-poor football, terrible coaching, year after year being tortured by it. They got a guy that's never been below 500. Fire. Dude, it's the worst, man. It's like talking to a wall with these guys. So, of course, being me, right, I'm going to buy the win here. I'm going to put a lot on that one to secure the win for us, boys. But that's just like, for me, like that's the most annoying part is that, dude, they just don't understand that they've had it so good for so long and that the average NFL team, you don't have coaches like that or perennial, all-pro quarterback. So –
you are, if you allow me to share with the public here, you're expecting a child in the coming days. Hopefully
God.
Monday morning. Do we have a special guest joining the show?
Are you kidding?
We have a special guest joining the show? Oh, my God.
Get the hoopy out. Get the hoopy out.
Yeah, just good.
Go Steelers, here we go.
Fuck you.
Oh, my God. Get
Dustin
this guy
Creel's in the
out
building.
of here.
Kick him, man. Come on.
Oh, my goodness.
What's up, Justin?
Oh, there we go. Someone's quit. Someone's quit.
How are we?
Good, man. Yourself?
I'm good. We're here in Dallas. We're doing the recording, and I think Ben dropped a little bomb on us.
I think so.
We're behind enemy lines. So let's get Creel's opinion here, huh? Creel, talk to us. We're in the middle of talking about the predictions of this week's game on Monday night. You got you got your game last week. You can talk about that a little bit, your thoughts, your takeaways. And then and then talk to us about on Monday. Ben, take it away.
Well, first week I'm one, couldn't have had a worse opponent to have a bad game against. Clearly it didn't go our way in any which way, offensively, defensively, special teams. But to that being said, it's also week I'm one. It's against the top 3 team who is studded out on defense. I think it was a wake-up call. So I'm curious to see Monday night what comes about it. Typically 2 ways with an ass whooping. You're either going to show up or you're going to tuck them your tail and get them your ass kicked twice as hard again. So Monday night will be a tell of the tales. But, and I don't know, this could be old news. It could be newer news. Is your right tackle out Monday night?
Yep. He got hurt. Cochran got hurt. DeJuan Jones is in.
Maybe another 3-piece?
Yeah, Creel, how do we feel about TJ Watt come Monday night?
Man, nothing needs to be said. Just put on Monday Night Football and you'll see 90 everywhere. Which way? Typically on top of Forrest's back.
He said on top of Forrest's back.
Oh boy, Creel. We mentioned some stats pre-show here. The Cleveland Browns are 1-23 at Pittsburgh since the year 2000. There's been a lot of shit talking in the Twitterverse that I've seen. A lot of chitter chatting back and forth. Are you feeling confident going to this game, or are you feeling? I mean, the Browns showed up week 1. They look like they're ready to put it on the Steelers. Are you feeling good, or are you worried?
No, I'm feeling really, really good. Non-biasedly as a Steelers fan, I already told D on this, but the conditions for week 1 for you guys couldn't have played out better. Flop ball and just line up and who tougher, and knows that's not Cincinnati's game, where that is your guys' game. So conditions look clear. So make the best team win on Monday night.
All right, man. All right, you got a prediction? You got a prediction? What you got for a score?
There'll be some score on both sides. Obviously, I'm in favor of the Steelers, of course. At home Monday night bounce back game. Hopefully they can get smarter on the offensive scheme. Matt Canada, I feel like it's a high school scheme he's running, but hopefully it's engineered around 22 and just keep on pumping him away. And then let them splash plays happen with play action and what have you. Deontay being out for numerous weeks here obviously is a huge kick in the groin. But someone's got to step up. But all in all said, I'm going to go 24-14 Steelers.
Ooh.
All right.
The defense, yeah, that I'm right. I'm tackle. That buddy better be watching film. I'm praying.
It's going to be a test of a lifetime.
Man, what?
Girl, don't worry. Your little boys aren't going to have a walk in the park. They got 2 fucking behemoths coming down their fucking throats.
24.
Like the shark fins.
All right, Crew. Crew, we appreciate you joining the show here for a few minutes. It was great. I loved it. It went exactly as I needed to go.
Great surprise, no doubt.
Thank you so much.
Yenzers. Peace, man.
Peace.
Yeah, Creel.
That was great.
Hey, come on.
That was a genuine. I'm sitting here and I see Dustin Creel and I was like, oh boy. Oh boy.
Dude, this guy, I DM'd him on Instagram. I didn't have his phone number. I DM'd him on Monday. He responded to me today at like 10 a.m. I'm like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I totally forgot. We have someone in the office, Cody, a resident Steeler fan. Until I just asked him to come over here, we could have had someone in the office I totally forgot about.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that. We can be an unbiased podcast. We can have people come on.
I want to
tell you right now, but once we win, I'm getting his ass right back on here next week, and I'm gonna let him do a fucking recap about that game.
I just wanted to keep the energy up. I wanted to keep tension, get that to a level never seen before.
Yeah, no, it was. Trust me, I've been hearing it. Should have heard. I should just start taking screenshots of just text messages in the group, and then just add them like, "Hey, text chain of the week," because there's some comedy in there. Fucking dudes over there talking to me about Kenny Pickett's Timothy. Little tiny hands got his ass beat. Preseason, he had a perfect QBR. Fuck out of here. We're going to find out.
All right, boys. That was good. That was everything I anticipated it to be. We'll let's get our predictions in for week 2 here, guys. Let's close out the show with some predictions, some locks of the week. Jim, week 2, are the Brownies coming out 2-0?
I gotta believe they are. I know Bull was talking about being a different team. I think this team is different. I'm gonna go 27-12.
12.
27-12.
4 field goals, or how we get into 12?
We'll find a way to 12.
All right.
All right. That's great. Good stuff. Skip, what do you got?
60-0, Browns. 60-0.
There's credibility by the fucking pick.
60-0, Browns.
Unbelievable. All right. Hey, we're keeping it together here. We're keeping it together. Coach Felucci, 2-0.
I got a 31-17 Browns.
All right. How we think we getting a couple turnovers? What you got a prediction for the sack number this week? You want that 3 to 5? What do you got?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go 2 for Miles, 1 for Za'Darius. A total team of 4, but Za'Darius gets 1, Miles gets 2.
All right, D, close it out for us. What do you got?
Yeah, we got I think it's gonna be a close one. And I hate to say it, but I think it'll be a close one. I think we're gonna get into like a 24-28 type of a game, and the Browns will pull it out. We'll be out 2-0. 24-28 is my guess.
We D, I forget what game we were talking about, maybe last weekend or early this week, but we were talking about how you gotta learn to win. The Steelers, they continuously beating the Browns at Pittsburgh year over year over year. How do the Browns learn to win and go get a W in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it comes down to those games. Like, I'm thinking it'll be this week, that 24-28, that fourth quarter, not turning the ball over, learning how to manage the clock, closing out a game. If we get up 14-0, 17-0, look at the Eagles. Yes, they know how to win football games, but it can happen to anybody. They let the Patriots hang around. They let them come back, and then the last 2 minutes of the game, they almost lost. Right, so being able to put your foot on the throat when you're up and close the team out and don't let them get back up. So that's learning to win to me. So we'll see how it goes this week.
Ben, I got a hot take real quick though. Right? Did Dustin say it was going to be good weather in Pittsburgh?
I believe he did.
Partly cloudy, 76.
Dude, Watson's going to have 3 or 4 touchdown passes. It's his coming out game as a Brown. Vol, you heard it here, man. Come on. I need some energy here. Come on.
Yeah, I would love to see that. And again, I think he's going to have a bounce back week. I mean, down week 1 a little bit. I could easily see him, going out, throwing 2-3 tutties, being closer to that 250 mark. Obviously, I hope we're still pounding the rock with Chubb.
Hell yeah, boys. All right, the journey to 2-0 begins now. Let's close it out, though. We got our locks of the week. Kind of up and down week. Bull and I hopped on the Browns. We're both 1-0. Darian, we came out on top with the Raiders. Absolutely unbelievable victory. We were both riding that one. I can't believe that turned out well. And then Skip, you rode the team we're playing this week into the ground, literally almost. And Jim, the Vikings didn't turn out too great. How do we feel about our locks of the week last week, Skip?
I mean, you saw the score. I mean, fucking garbage. I mean, did they get beat by 50 points? I don't know.
30-7.
I was better off going outside and burning the money I lost than actually betting it. So,
Jim, I thought the Vikings. I rode the Vikings too with you. I actually saw a tweet in regards. Baker apparently knew their signals.
I saw that
at some
too.
point.
I don't know how true that is, but yeah, I thought they looked pretty bad.
Bull tweeted that.
All right, Jim. Why don't you keep it going there? What do you got for a week 2 lock of the week?
My week 2 lock of the week is going to be the Miami Dolphins -3. They're going to Foxborough playing the Pats. Now the Pats just lost their home opener with the whole TB12 thing, but I don't think they get it done again. I think the Dolphins have a lot of weapons.
Yeah,
and I just don't see the Patriots being able to cover. So I'm going Dolphins by 3.
That's a tough one to argue with. Skip, what do you got for a lock of the week?
Man, I was between two. I thought Green Bay showed out quite a bit last week. I think, their new quarterback, Jordan Love, is that what it is?
Yep.
His name? He looked good, man. So it was between them and the KC, Chiefs. I got to go Chiefs money line, right? I mean, they're going to bounce back this week. You can't bet against Pat Mahomes. So I got to go KC money. I think minus 150, something like that.
All right, that's not bad. I'll accept it. Coach Vellucci, what your alleged lock of the week? What do you got?
I hate to say this, we were talking shit about Joe Woods earlier. I just think that J.C. Horn's out for the Panthers at corner. Saints got some good receivers. I'm going to take the Saints -3.
All right, and Darian, lock of the week, 2-0. Brownies and lock of the week. What do you got?
It's tough for me right now. I got a couple of them that I like, but I got to pick one, right? So I'm gonna go with the question.
Yeah.
Before I give that, Kelsey practiced today, right? Anybody seen reports he's back in practice?
I heard he was playing.
He's playing. So I'm going to say that the Chiefs are going to be my lock. They're going to win. Moneyline King. Chiefs, moneyline against Jacksonville in Jacksonville. Lightning doesn't strike twice, typically. It could, but if you're going to see the Chiefs come out and drop every fucking pass again, Kelsey not play, Chris Jones sign, they're not going to start a season 0-2.
He signed?
He did.
Chris Jones did. Yes, he did.
Beginning of the week.
No idea. Wow. Okay.
That's why you got me. So I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. But I'm also going to give out a little bit of just a freebie, right? I can give a freebie, can't I?
Yeah, why not?
Do it every day. The Lions at home against Seattle. It's their Colorado game, okay? Their Colorado-Nebraska game. They won one on the road that they weren't supposed to win. Like, nobody thought that they were going to win. Now they have to come home, and they have to do it again. And then everybody's going to say, that they're legit. But this one's going to be personal for them. So I'm going to go with the Lions as another little freebie. I'm going to keep an eye on that game.
All right. I respect it. I respect the dual pick. I'm going to go similar to UD with the Lightning doesn't strike twice. The Chargers were balling out. They were balling out. That I had the over in that game. I think it was over. I think I bought it down to over 49. I think it was 67 points. It was 35-32 or something like that. I got the Chargers -3. Chargers -3. Jim, who they're playing? You got keep that. I don't even remember who they're playing, to be honest. Chargers -3.
Titans
at Tennessee. Yeah, Titans at Tennessee. Chargers -3. I think Justin Herbert. I look. You think he's got to win an MVP one of these years. I think he's got to come up to play. The defense, obviously, the main sticking point for that team, but Chargers -3. That's what I got, boys. That was a great episode too. I think it was a great episode too. We're under in time. We had some great energy. It was good.
Loved it, man.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, this will be airing Sunday morning again, just before the games, probably around 7-8 a.m. Hopefully people follow these locks of the week. I'm going to put in the parlay again. We didn't hit last week, but I think it was 20 to win 200. I'm going to ride it again, and we'll see what happens. Let's do it, boys. 2-0. Here we come.
Get it.
Be locked in. Go Browns.